To be some plans, though, at least try and move in the right direction. Prasa says the recovery of certain services in Gauteng and Cape Town Central Line are gaining momentum. So where are we? Some 2 weeks later, Prasa spokesperson Andiswa Makanda joining us. Hello, Andiswa. If I have my facts correct, you were actually with Tumza a couple of weeks ago at that train station, and you saw firsthand what it looked like. We'll talk about the Central Line in Cape Town in a moment. The reason I want to talk about Gauteng first is in the next few days, a few of the main lines are going offline to start this rehabilitation process. What can you tell us?
Good morning, Gareth, and good morning to your viewers. As you rightly pointed, we are starting a rehabilitation work in Gauteng. We are closing 3 lines today. Coming as of Monday, we will start the major rehabilitation work in 3 lines. That is the Naledi to Johannesburg, Pienaarsport to Pretoria, and Lerala to eNCA. It is important that we start the rehabilitation work uninterrupted. We were running a limited service on those 3 lines, but now we have to do the major reconstruction work so that we can fix those lines, restore the cables that were stolen. So that's the work in a nutshell that we'll be doing in the next coming days.
And how long is this rehabilitation expected to take, Andiswa? And then obviously you mentioned the replacement of cables that were stolen. That's all good and well, but you know the problem. You put new cables in as Prasa, and a couple of weeks later they're stolen. So A, how long are we going to be out of action for? And B, how are we going to stop the new ones being stolen again?
No, definitely. We are estimating 3 to 4 months. It will take us 3 to 4 months to rehabilitate and fix that infrastructure on those 3 lines in Gauteng. I must also mention that we are also working on Pretoria to Calfontaine, just to link Johannesburg and Pretoria. So that work is also underway in the next few days, Gareth. To speak on security, we do have an integrated security plan, and you're right. Sometimes we struggle to keep up with these criminal syndicates because we fix here, they still at another section. It's very difficult to catch up with the criminal syndicates, but we do have an integrated security plan. We've implemented that plan in Mopopane, and I'm pleased to tell the viewers that since we've implemented that security plan on the Mopopane line, we have not seen any incidents of theft or vandalism on the line. There are attempts, however, there haven't been any theft or vandalism on that particular section.
There were concerns as well, Andiswa. I'm sure you remember during hard lockdown, level 5 is when a lot of the infrastructure was stolen. There was also concerns then about security contracts that were cancelled or not renewed. How are we on security contracts? Is Prasa providing security itself as Prasa, or are you bringing in third-party contractors? Andiswa, I think we seem to have lost you for a moment. I'm not sure what's happened. Just double-check your microphone.
My apologies, Gary.
That's fine. Go ahead. Let's pick up where you were.
I've got you there. Yes, we are, because of the vast network that needs to be protected, we cannot do it alone as Prasa. So we have a parallel process where we are bringing independent contractors to assist us in protecting the infrastructure, while at the same time we are working on increasing the capacity. Our own internal security personnel, they're also going under training so that we can start protecting our own security, our own infrastructure. So there is that parallel process happening. There are independent contractors that are protecting the infrastructure.
So just before we move on to the Western Cape, just to remind viewers where we are on this for Gauteng, Pienaarsport to Pretoria from the 23rd of May till August 2022, Naledi to Johannesburg 23 May till September 2022, if I heard you correctly, Andiswa, and then Lerala to eNCA 30th of May until October 2022. So you're right, about 4 months for those rehabilitations in Gauteng. So the Transport Minister, let's go down to the Western Cape, the Transport Minister saying Central Line up and running by December. The clock is ticking, Andiswa. Where do we stand on the Central Line?
No, definitely. The Central Line, there's a huge challenge we're facing there, as you would all know, and seen pictures and videos of the illegal occupations on the railway tracks. And so part of the process is to relocate those illegal occupations on the Central Line. However, there are a bit of challenges in that regard, but we've come up with a plan where we said actually some sections of the Central Line, we can reopen them for trains to run on those particular sections. And so we've started the process where we've cordoned off some sections on the Central Line, that is between Cape Town and Langa and Nyanga, where we've put in a fence. We have engineers there working on to explore how can we run these trains while the people are still occupying the rail reserves. I'm pleased to say that there is a plan that's been put in place. December is the target to reopen sections of that particular line. We want to open Cape Town to Belleville by December 2022.
So it looks like you're almost going corridor by corridor, track by track, because I think if you had to try legally go through all the wranglings of a legal effort to have those living on and near these railway tracks, it could take months before you even get one line going. So is my interpretation correct, Andiswa? Before I say goodbye, you're trying to go at least one railway line by one railway line, one corridor by one corridor?
Yeah, that's correct, Gareth. I think you've summed it up correctly. I mean, the devastation of our network is so huge. We're looking at all the provinces where the Prasa operates. And so we need to do this corridor by corridor. That is the approach that we have taken in rebuilding the land, because the extent of the damage is not the same. So some of these sections that we can reopen, that's what we are prioritizing. We're looking at the demand for particular sections of the rail. We are looking at the extent of damage and how quickly can we fix and turn the situation around. So we're doing this corridor by corridor. And I would like to thank eNCA for journeying with us and constantly covering and keeping the viewers up to date with the work that Prasa is currently doing to recover those sections. And
we'll continue to do it as well. We actually got Tumza a nice new big red jacket to send her out in the cold again later this year, Andiswa, when you join her at another... when you join her at another train station later in the year. Andiswa Makanda, I always appreciate your time from Prasa. So it looks at least we're moving in the right direction as far as rail by railway line is concerned. Just a reminder, I saw someone asking me to repeat this on Twitter. For Gauteng, 3 lines are going to be rehabilitated in the next few days, so please pay attention to this. Pinaspoort to Pretoria from 23 May till August 2022. Naledi to Johannesburg, 23 May until September 2022. And Lerala, I hope I said that right, Lerala to Ellensfontein, 30th of May until October 2022. So that's coming in the next few days. That's the latest from Prasa on our railway lines.